Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I make this simple yet delicious chicken stir fry. It's super simple to make. It takes about 15 minutes and I promise you this is going to be one of your favorite dishes. So let's get to it. So first you want to prep all the ingredients. Here I have carrots, green bell pepper, red bell pepper. I am going to slice this thinly. You can cut it any shape you like. I'm also going to slice some onions and some finger chili. And that'll be it for the vegetables. For the meat, I'm going to be using chicken thighs. And here I'm just trimming off the excess fat of the meat. You can also use chicken breast for this recipe, but bear in mind it's not going to be as juicy. After trimming off the fat, I will discard it, and next I'll cut the chicken into thin strips. And you want to try to cut this about the same size so you don't have big chunks, so the meat cooks evenly. After cutting, I'm going to slightly season with a little bit of chicken bouillon cube, which is chicken seasoning, and a little bit of garlic powder. I'll give this a good mix and just let it marinate for about 5 minutes while I prepare the sauce. For the sauce, I am going to combine soy sauce, a little bit of oyster sauce, some Chinese cooking wine, a little bit of sugar, sesame oil, and water. And bear in mind that the sugar does not make the sauce sweet, it's just to balance the other ingredients, so please do not be afraid to add that. And all the ingredients used are going to be listed in the description box with the exact measurements, so be sure to check that out. And all of these can be bought at your local grocery store. In a separate bowl, I'm going to mix cornstarch and water. This is going to act as the thickening agent for the sauce. If you don't have cornstarch, you can also use all-purpose flour or leave it out. So now to make the sauce, I've added a little bit of oil and I'm gonna let that heat up, and then I'll add the chicken. I'll stir fry this for about 5 minutes until it is no longer pink. And I make sure my pan is on really high heat while doing this so the chicken doesn't start steaming and releasing its juices. After about 5 minutes, I am now going to add some minced garlic. I'm also going to add the chopped peppers and onion. I'll stir fry this for about 1 minute. Next, I'm going to add in the carrots and the bell peppers, and I'm going to stir fry this for about 2 minutes. If you do not like your carrots on the crunchy side, you can add it while stir frying the chicken so it cooks a little bit more. Next, I'm going to go in with the soy sauce mix, and I'm going to rinse the bowl and add in a little bit of water, about 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to stir fry this for about 1 minute. After that, I'll add in the cornstarch slurry and I'll stir fry this until it is thickened. And I forgot to mention earlier that please make sure you have your rice already cooking, assuming you're eating it with rice. Please make sure your rice is already cooking or already cooked before starting the sauce, as the stir fry is best enjoyed hot. So after cooking for about 1 to 2 minutes, you can add a little bit of water. If it's too thick, you can just adjust this to fit your preference. If you like your sauce on the thicker side, you can leave it like this. If you like it a bit looser, add a little bit of water until it meets your perfect consistency. And just like that, the sauce is ready. It's so tasty, super easy to make, and way better than takeout. I'm gonna serve this with plain basmati rice and enjoy. If you have any questions about this recipe, you can always leave me a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer them. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe today and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. is one of my favorite combos. It's dried fish sauce and rice and beans. To make the rice and beans, start by boiling the picked and washed beans. Add a lot of water and a little bit of salt, and I'm going to allow this boil for about 45 minutes. After about 45 minutes, the beans should be about 80% cooked. It should be cooked but not completely soft, like this. Next, go ahead and add the rice. I washed the rice several times until the water ran clear. Add more water to boil the rice. You can add a little bit of salt if needed. I didn't need any, so I didn't add any. Just give this a quick mix, and I'm going to cover this and allow it to cook for about 20 minutes until the rice is fully cooked. The rice is cooked. I'm going to fluff this off just by stirring, and I'm going to set this aside and start with the sauce. The dried fish sauce is super easy to make. You're going to start by chopping some onion, tomato, bell pepper or tatashe, atarido. I like to use a lot of pepper when making this because I like it super spicy. If you have a food processor, you can also just throw all the ingredients in and get a rough chop. Before or midway into chopping, you can start heating up the oil. Next, transfer the chopped onion and the other chopped ingredients into the oil. I'll give this a good mix and then I'll add the seasoning. I like to keep the seasoning very simple when making this sauce or stew, so I usually just season with salt and bouillon cubes. I'll give this another mix and then I'll add the dried fish. I'm using smoked catfish for this recipe, and I already washed the fish. I washed the fish by soaking it in hot water for about 2 to 3 minutes. I took it out and then I deboned the fish. After adding the fish, cover this and allow to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes on low-medium heat. You can check on it from time to time to make sure it doesn't burn. After about 20 minutes, it should be ready. Like I said, it's super easy to make but extremely tasty. I always make this sauce when I have dried catfish. Serve it over the rice and beans and enjoy your tasty, spicy dried fish sauce. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm making this absolutely delicious turkey stew, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start by cooking the turkey. Here I have some cut up turkey wings, and I'm going to season this with onion, garlic, ginger, thyme, curry powder, salt, and some chicken bouillon cubes. I'll give this a good mix, and I won't add any water at this time. I'll just allow the turkey steam for about 10 minutes on low heat. After about 10 minutes, I'll check on the turkey. I'll add in the water now, and I'm going to allow this to cook for another 10 minutes until it's almost fully cooked. While the meat is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and prep the ingredients for the stew base. For the stew base, I'll be using bell peppers, tomatoes, habanero pepper, and a little bit of onion. I'll blend this until it's completely smooth, and while that's blending, I'll check on the meat. The meat should be cooked now, so I'm gonna go ahead and separate it from the meat stock. After getting the meat out, I'm going to filter the meat broth. It's very important to filter the broth, especially when you use turkey, because turkey can have very hard bones that tend to break off when cooking, and that can be very dangerous when eaten. After that's done, I'm going to add the tomato pepper blend to the pot, and I'm going to let this reduce for about 30 minutes. While that's cooking, I'll transfer the turkey to the air fryer, and I'm going to air fry this for about 15 minutes on high until it's golden brown. And I'll spray it with a little bit of oil spray just to get that skin nice and crispy. After 15 minutes, this is what it looks like. I'm going to set this aside and check on the tomato blend. I'll take this off and start boiling the rice. I always like to boil my rice first before starting the stew, so they can either get ready together or the rice can be ready before the stew. And this is the brand of rice I use for everyone who asks. Just before I start with the stew, I'll prep the ingredients I'm going to need. I've peeled 2 carrots and I'm going to cut this with a crinkle cutter just to give it the nice shape. I'm also going to chop some green onions for garnish, and also I'll need some finely chopped red onion. After all the ingredients are prepped, I'm going to start making the stew. And I'll start by heating up vegetable oil, and I'll go ahead and fry the onion until it's translucent. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, I'll add in the tomato sauce. I'll season this with chicken bouillon cube and thyme. To avoid over seasoning, I'm not going to add too much seasoning at this point because the turkey broth is also going to go in. And after adding the turkey broth, I can adjust the seasoning if needed. I'll give this a good mix and I'm going to allow this fry for about 10 minutes. You can fry for longer if you like your stew to be dry or darker in color. I usually like mine very fresh, so I only fry for about 10 minutes. Next, I'll add in the turkey stock. I'll give this a good mix and I'm going to let this cook for about 10 to 12 minutes on medium heat. I'll cover this slightly so it fries properly without creating a mess. After about 10 minutes, the stew should be ready, and you know it's ready when the oil starts floating to the top. Next, I'll add the fried turkey and the chopped carrots, and I'm going to mix that and allow it cook for about 5 minutes. I really like the freshness and vibrance the carrot adds to the stew, but of course it's optional. At this point, the stew is ready. I'm going to add the chopped green onions for some added freshness and color. The rice should also be ready at this point. So I'm going to serve this and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.